Welcome into week 2 of GOAT 4v4 action. White and green starting things off. A little bit short-handed today, so all two of us are working every possible equipment today. So we apologize for any mishaps as we get this game started.
In typical GOAT fashion, we have one player that doesn't have a number. That is Elliot Belly from St. Vincent College.
But I did see him get a jersey, so...
He did?
I just didn't see what number it was.
Oh, great. Even better.
So White will pick things up at center ice about a minute into this first period. Green will have it in their own zone. McLean will move this one forward. Michalski gets it poked off his stick. Here comes George. Brody George will break into the green zone. Takes it behind the net. Gets pushed up against him by Mahler. Taking forward and coming out with it is Stock. He will now wait behind his own net. Moves it up to Mahler, who finds Blair, gets pickpocketed at the line, and now here comes Brody George. He'll move in on green. Save made Butterbond. Rebound, another great save. Sent off the back of the net before picked up by Mahler. He'll send it the length of the ice. Pickpocketing is Robertson. Across, poke just out of danger there by O'Donnell. White will go on the counterattack with Lieb. Lieb into the zone, breaking fourth, and a great save there by Butterbaugh. White's looked strong so far.
Yeah, good chance there for White on Butterbaugh. And they're going to keep him in this game. We saw Butterbaugh last week. He faced north of 40 shots for his game against Team Purple, who is debatably the top GOAT in the GOAT League this year. And he held his own. I know you look at the stats and it says a 15 goals against. You got to remember how many shots this kid faced.
Valentin, he'll move it up to the point. Ondos tries to move it across to Kamzik. Can't get across. Kamzik will break into the zone, though. Sent all out in front. Can't find the stick of Ferrantino. And then he'll go all the way to the White's defensive zone. Valentin will move this across to his D partner. Ondos moves it up forward again to Ferrantino, and now looped back into their own defensive zone before finally breaking out. Ferrantino leaves it at the point. Waits and fires. Glove save there by Butterbaugh. Here comes Green. Broken up. Valentin leaves that one. Kamzik with it. Kamzik across. Can't get around both Green defenders. Here comes McLean. 3-on-1 if they hurry. Pass across, blocked away by Valentin. Ondos behind the net. He'll start breaking forward. He's going to lead the rush. Cutting in, can't get a shot on Butterbaugh. And White unable to get a good shot on that one. Here comes Green breaking in. Turned over to Belly before eventually picked up by Mahler of Green. Tapped along to Simcoe. Simcoe cutting in. Tries to get around Bork through the paint. Can't put it in the back of the net, though.
Silver platter right there for Green, and White is going to sneak their way the other way here.
George with lots of speed into the slot. Over the net. Brody George with a bunt over the net. Can't find a stick, though. Still battling for it is White. Unable to get another shot. Here comes Green. Simcoe into the offensive zone for Green. Tries to cut across. Pass is blocked away by George. Simcoe. High shot is blocked by Bork. Cutting for it. Turnaround shot. Blair can't hit the net. Stock will send it in and around and go for a change. White will take their time with it. But turned right over. Cutting around into the slot. Shot there goes wide from McLean. George can't clear it out. Michalski goes for the Michigan glove. Saved by Bork. What a way to make your debut if that goes in.
You got to wonder who's going to be the first to pull it off this year. We saw, I believe it was Mooney last year, was the lone person to do it. Is it too early to start placing bets on who's going to pull it off?
I don't think it's too early at all. We only got 4 more weeks after this.
Well,
before
regular
playoffs.
season games, yeah.
Yeah.
And I could see it in the playoffs. Purple, I'm looking at you guys.
Shot there from the point there. Gobbled up by Bork.
Speaking of Bork, congratulations to him. Committed in the OJHL yesterday with Niagara Junior Falls. Congrats to him.
Off the draw, White will win it to the wall. Green going to pounce all over them. Behind that is Saginaw. He'll try and find a man in front. Gets pickpocketed. Now here comes White. Evans, he'll leave it for Ondos. Ondos goes all the way across. Lieb with it. Can't dig it out. It'll go Green way, but bad bounce out in front. Goes straight to White. Evans drops it. Valentin at the goal line off the post. Saginaw will corral it for Green. Tries to send it down the length, but blocked. Here comes Robertson. Drops it. Great defense here from White. All game so far. And now a breakaway. Moving up for Lieb. Just too far out of his reach on the pass. Butterball will beat him to it. But a turnover. 2-0. Misses the pass. Lieb couldn't get the pass across to Kamzik. And a rebound chance. And more chances for White. They can't find the back of the net.
Everyone just seems snake bitten so far here in these first couple of minutes. And we've known that in GOAT notoriously, if you have a quiet couple minutes, you have a very loud finish.
Here comes White. Ferrantino. He'll lose it behind the net. Breaking out with it is Mahler. He'll move it forward to Simcoe. Simcoe across. And he will score! Adam Mahler will get his first back in the GOAT League.
One of the guys that was just been in and out of the GOAT League for a while finds the back of the net in his return. And Green getting something desperately they did not have against Purple last week, and that was a lead. It was a rough showing for them, to say the least, only scoring 5 goals, 2 of them being in the last 2 minutes of the game. But a good, strong start here for Green, led by Landon Butterball.
Yeah, Butterball has looked good. Shots are in favor of Green despite White dominating the offensive play, as we get Anthony Sawicki making his way on the ice. Green looks like a completely different team from last week, as here comes Simcoe cutting in. Shot goes wide. Simcoe takes a pocket. Green still has possession. Blair drops in the corner. Saginaw. Big battle along the boards. Saginaw comes out with it. Up in front off the post. White with a lot of bodies around him. Robertson's pass is blocked though. Robertson's pass again is blocked. And White's going to take it the other direction. Kamzik will lead the rush 3-on-2. Kamzik passes it. One more into the slot. Shot just goes wide. Green will take it off the stick of McLean, and now he's going to break in. Has a man across, just out of his reach. Can't find Michalski. Back behind the net for McLean. Another attempt out of Michigan from this Green team. Broken up that time by Valentin.
They're really feeling the 1-0 lead here, getting real comfortable trying to pull the Michigan off.
I mean, they were feeling it before the 1-0 lead. Michalski gets it poked off his stick. White going for a change, but George off the bench able to snag that one. He'll move this one forward to O'Donnell. In on a break. Drops it for George, and he will score! Brody George, the first overall pick, gets his first GOAT 4v4 goal.
Yeah, what a way to put one on the board here for Brody George. A good little give and go. Finds the back of the net. And the Michigan State commit ties this game at 1.
13:23 to go in the first half. Green looking to respond right away with Robertson. Poked off his stick. And it's going to be taken by White. Ondos tries to find the lead man. Intercepted, though, by McLean. He'll break in for Green. Can't find a man. George breaks it up. He'll bounce it off the boards. Gets taken down on the play. No penalty. Mahler, he'll move this one forward. 2-on-1 for Green. McLean all the way over. Michalski can't pull the trigger. White now with some momentum. Out of reach of George, so it'll go back a Green way. Be it Michalski. Moves on up to McLean. McLean leaves it for Robertson. Robertson in. Shot save made by Bork. Pass this one up, and now here comes White. Evans puts on the brakes as the rest of White is changing. Great play, keep away. Down to the line. Save made by Butterbaugh. Just struggling with it is White. Still with it, digging, firing, gloves. Save made by Butterbaugh on Sawicki, his first shift.
First shift getting thrown to the Wolves right there on offensive zone rush. And Sawicki with an A-plus chance. Looking to find the back of that in his first goal of the 2025 GOAT campaign. Played all last year, did not register a goal. So trying to get the monkey off his back here early is Sawicki.
Good interception to start it from Sawicki, but just can't corral it. It'll go back to Saginaw. And now here come Green. Pushing forward. Save made by Bork on Stock. Blair with it. Pass across. Tip just wide by Simcoe. Moving forward is White. A 2-on-0 developing. Lieb. Across. One more to Lieb. And it goes in. Xavier Lieb gets White the lead on a beautiful 2-on-0.
There's a good give and go there between him and Ferentino to find the back of the net. 2-1 lead as Xavier Lieb plays in the USA Challenge next season. Finds the back of the net. His second goal of the GO campaign.
Simcoe will take it off the draw for Green. Dances his way around Sawicki's shot. Save made by Bork and covered.
You saw last week with Teal versus White, a.k.a. the Toilet Bowl from 2024. Debatably, Teal looked amazing. I think White, we talked about before he came on here, like they kind of got overshadowed in that first game. And we said a lot from this week is going to determine how we think the rest of the standings are going to play out. And White has had a very strong showing so far.
Save made there by Butterbaugh. As we take a look outside, it wouldn't be a Wednesday GO 4v4 game without a little bit of torrential downpour.
Yes. The first game torrential downpour has happened 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
If I had a nickel every time, I'd have 2 nickels. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if it's torrential downpour, but it's raining enough that I can hear it. That I can hear it with a headset on. Green will break forward. Michalski coming in, and he will pop the water bottle. Not off, but a beautiful shot there by Michalski, and the two fill-ins getting the goals for Green.
What a shot by Michalski. Goes upstairs on his former Long Island teammate and Dylan Bork. Ties his game at 2. A defenseman getting up in the rush like that and get some chances. I think the Trail and the BCHL is going to be very pleased looking at that film if they end up watching the summer hockey film.
George with a great face-off win. Offensive zone possession. Sends that one over the net. Moving forward is Green. McLean in. Blocked by George. Sent out to the slot. No one there. Go all the way down to be picked up by Butterbaugh, who pushed that one just forward to Michalski. Michalski was sending out to McLean. McLean getting pressure. Turned over to George. George now with lots of speed. Shot there, and he will score again. Brody George with a shot from distance. And it makes it 3-2.
With the puck on his stick, he might be the most lethal shooter in the GO 4v4 right now. Honestly. Anytime the puck is on his stick, it is weaponry firing it off. And you can see why the U.S. national team had so much interest in this player. And then eventually Michigan State offers him a full-ride scholarship during last year's season.
Green looking to try and make another turnaround, but here's George again with lots of speed. Moving in, save made by Butterbaugh.
Getting the Hattie right now, Brody George. He's feeling it. I want to see it.
Yeah, he looked like he got shot out of a cannon after picking that puck up.
Held scoreless in his first ever GOAT game. Expectations are very high for this #1 overall pick.
White's going to win the draw. Evans across. Shot is saved away by Butterbaugh. White still with possession. Ondos will drop it. Dancing around. Evans will move in. Drops it. Ferentino. Into the slot. Can't get a full pass across. Kept in at the line. And White will still have possession in the zone. Spin around. Can't find a stick. Blair will try and send it the width of the ice. Can't do so. Drop pass is intercepted once again. Here comes White 4-on-1. O'Donnell across. Can't pull the trigger. Fan on the shot was Evans. Green now. They're going to have an on-man rush of their own, but caught from behind. Great defensive play there by O'Donnell. And now the other way. Ferentino's shot gloved away by Butterbaugh.
Great chances at both ends of the ice. And right now, the defensive team White is just a bit stronger. They've really buckled down after those first 2 Green goals and now have retaken the lead. You see Team Green on the other end, 4-on-1 coming back the other way. That's what killed them against Purple last week. It was remotely close until Purple found that break to get away. Maybe White's team in the same formula here early.
Saginaw all the way over to Michalski. His shot fans on it, makes its way through the crease. Michalski still with it. He'll lose it. Ondos. Intercepted. Michalski can't pull the trigger. Carrying for White and intercepted. Saginaw. His pass is broken up. Sawicki in, across, holds. Can't find the back of the net. Green now looking for their own rush. Oh, what a great defensive play there by Lieb to just barely knock that one off the stick of Simcoe. Sawicki up to Lieb. Lieb toe drag across. Almost put in his own net there by McLean. Evans will drop it behind the net. Into the slot. Shot is blocked. Rebound is still there. Backhand shot. Butterbaugh gets it out of the crease. Sawicki sends it around. Kamzik towards the net. Can't find it. Now Saginaw. He'll move this one forward. Michalski poked off his stick, and now White with possession yet again. Kamzik dances around one. Can't pull the trigger, fanning on it.
What a move by Kamzik trying to fool the net miner. That would have been a beauty to put on the highlight reel.
Green now. Behind the net, bounces it off the post and it'll end up in the corner. Belly moves it over. Valentine drops it. Kamzik fires, save made by Butterbaugh. Here comes Green. Stock loses it, but in a drop attempt, Mahler's shot is gloved away.
We did have more commitments come in this weekend throughout its various rosters here. Team White, Case Kamzik, going to play for Sarnia of the Ontario Hockey League next season. Congrats to him, the Miami of Ohio commit.
Green will win the faceoff. Blair gets pickpocketed. Now here comes White. Valentine drops it. Boot tries to get around him. Can't get a shot. Towards the slot. Can't find the stick of Valentine. Now here comes Brody Simcoe for Green. Breakaway. Can't bury it behind Bork. Both White defensemen go the wrong way from the puck, and now Green with possession behind the net. Blair to the point. Shot is blocked. O'Donnell getting in front of that one. Behind the net now here comes White. O'Donnell Saginaw chasing him, glove save. Rebound comes out to George. George's shot gets tipped by O'Donnell over the net. Both Green defensemen miss the puck. White still with it. George fans on it. Back to the point. Out in front, blockered away. Looking for a tip, ended up finding the pad. Not what White was looking for. Simcoe puts on the brakes, leaves it for Saginaw. Out to Michalski, digging for it. Still loose and covered by Bork.
What a look for Team Green here in the late stages of the first half. Shots leading. Green will now eventually be up 14-13, but crazy. This has been a complete 180, I think, from both of these teams from last week, where they seem to be purely dominated. They're both starting to find their footing. We might be in for a very more competitive than we thought between these 6 teams.
Just 2 minutes to go in this first period of play. Carrying is White. Ondos drops to O'Donnell. O'Donnell back in front, save made by Butterbaugh. Saginaw moves that one forward. McLean up to Michalski. Michalski holding. Finds a man in front. Between the legs and covered by Bork. Couldn't tell if that one went in. I don't know if anyone knew.
Yeah, it was just a waiting game. Emmett McLean opened him up, put him 5-hole, and then everyone just sat and goes, "Where's the puck go?" Even the ref was like, "All right, I'm gonna whistle it wherever it is." It's to who's surprised, but what a stop!
I feel like the ref might have known that it wasn't in.
He's just looking like maybe it's. I mean, also Bork has black pads.
Yeah.
So you just didn't know. Maybe it was loose. Maybe it wasn't. Phil Bork in attendance as well, watching his son play to the left of us.
Moving forward. Saginaw. It's in the corner. Still with it. Behind the net. McLean. Out to the point. Bounces off Michalski's stick. 1 minute to go. As here comes Michalski. Moving in. Drops it. Shot. Save made. Rebound comes around but turned over. McLean still with it, but White turns it over. 3-on-0. Save made by Butterbaugh. Saving the game for Green. Not necessarily the game, but saving a momentum swing for sure.
Wow. 3-on-0. And somehow Butterbaugh reaches across to make that save. Almost a give me. And he stretches to keep his team in this game.
Evans with it with 10 to go. Back to the point. Sawicki dances across. Another great save there by Butterbaugh. And Green's going to come out of this only down 1 after 2 great saves to end that first period.
Get always friendly roughhousing in between as well. We love to see that.
We will be back in about 2 minutes for the second period between Green and White. Second period about to get underway here.
Type in second. There we go.
There we go.
Two-man
3-2
job.
White as we get ready for the second period. But the real story so far, Butterbaugh at the end of that period making multiple great saves.
Yeah, stood on his head for his team, just like he did last week, keeping this a one-score game.
White now with some good movement. Lieb will carry it, pass across, and he will bury it. That is Case Kamzik. Put up 2 last game, gets another one here today.
Sarnia sting forward, feeling himself. Had a couple of chances in the first period, now beats Butterbaugh. And similar script last week for Green, where Purple came out the opening gates of the second half and started to pile it on.
Face off won by White. Goes all the way behind Bork. Turned over. Mahler gets it poked into the bench. Into the White bench.
Both captains from this game, Sean O'Donnell for Team White, Colby Sagnick for Team Green, will be playing next game for Team Black.
Yeah.
We're going to have 3 captains on the ice. Well, actually maybe 4 captains, because they have 2 captains on that team already at Orbits. Makes you wonder how many players from Team Black are able to show up today.
Yeah, that was a big question we had when we saw that.
And then Nikita Volsky being the sub-goaltender as well for Carson Fry.
White now. Evans will carry it, drops it to Sawicki. Sawicki can't get a dangle across off the post from Kamzik. Will go all the way the length of the ice. Bork thought about playing it up. Leaves it back instead.
Let's see Borky fire one from down there.
Turned over. Here comes Michalski. Save made there by Bork. Poked away from Michalski's stick. And now here come White. 3-on-2. Kamzik across. Can't find the stick. Will eventually make its way back to his, who turns it right over to Michalski. And now here comes Saganook. Bounces off his stick. So we'll have to regroup. Back to Michalski. Michalski to the point. Simcoe dangles towards the slot. Intercepted. Valentin still with it. He'll hold in his own zone. Valentin off the boards to George. George, bank pass. Moving forward. Kamzik's shot save made Butterbaugh, spinning around because he didn't know where it was.
He's just been a little lost with that puck. I think anyone would be with a shot that hard coming in. We approach the 20-minute mark to go. Shots favoring White 18-16. Pretty even from both sides.
Yeah. Green with a face-off win. Michalski with it. Sends it up to Simcoe. Simcoe puts on the brakes. Looking for another green stick. Dangles around himself, but turned over O'Donnell. And now George. He's got speed. Past Michalski. Save made by Butterbaugh. Michalski. He'll flip that one up into the center. O'Donnell will be the one to grab it. Multiple people went for that one.
Looking like the Pirates outfield there for a sec. Nobody could catch it.
Ferrantino moves that one up to George. George steaming in. He'll drop this one. Shot there is blockered away. Ondos with it. Back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell down to Ferrantino. Ferrantino, tight defense on him. He'll come out with it. Tries to find O'Donnell past his stick. But luckily Lieb is there. And he will get it to O'Donnell. On net. Sticked into the corner, though, by Butterbaugh. O'Donnell back to the point. Pass in front. Flipped over the net. Great chance for White. Moving forward. In. Shot. Save made Butterbaugh again.
My goodness. So many opportunities here for Team White. And just unable to beat Butterbaugh right now. This Team White, even if it isn't this year when they have their full breakout, this is a very young roster. Only a handful of returners, if that. the team that used to have Brandon Sabota and those Lakes of players, it's pretty much been Sean O'Donnell, Alex Ondos have been the only consistent players over the last year. So this is a fresh new group of guys on this roster.
White still with possession. Lieb with it. Goes through the slot, can't find the stick. Ondos dangling with it still. He will score. Gets it over the glove of Butterbaugh. And it is now 5-2 White.
The Suffolk NCAA commit, Alex Ondos, played with Connecticut last season, the NCDC, had 3 goals and go last season, gets his first of the season here in week number 2.
White will win the draw yet again. Clearing attempt goes awry, but good defensive effort there by Belly. Out to the point. Robertson, his pass goes awry. Robertson will send it down. Green now with some pressure. Tipped in front. Almost tipped into his own net there by Sawicki. Saginaw across. One-timer. Blockered away. Out of the zone. Digging for it and eventually getting it is Stock. Stock tries to find a man in front, but can't find the net. Digging for it behind the net. Belly was in there. Eventually it'll come out to Lieb, and he will stand behind his own net.
The St. Vincent came in mid-season for them, helped get them a CHE championship in the D3 rank. St. Vincent's second in as many years.
Evans cutting in. He will shoot and score. What a shot. Picking that under the blocker to make it 6-2.
Another first. First career Goat League goal from Mark Evans. A beauty. Beating Butterbaugh 6-2 White. And Butterbaugh just looking for a little bit of help defensively here.
This is getting eerily similar to that Purple game last week where everything was close and then the second period everything broke open. As here comes Brody George. He's going to steam ahead, getting caught by Michalski though. Great poke check there by Butterbaugh. Michalski will send that one up. McLean with it. It'll make its way to Simcoe. Simcoe around in front. Can't get a shot off with Mahler. Michalski dances around one. Down to the goal line. Penalty upcoming on George.
Yeah, we're going to see Green's first power play of the season here. And a small little hook. Green heads to the power play.
Brody George will sit for 2. As Michalski has been all over the puck today.
He has been. What an addition. He's been everywhere. You see some of these subs are just like, all right, I haven't been here before. I don't know what to expect. Let's go all the way to the wall here in my first game. I want to make a name for myself. Green might invite him back after this because he's been responsible for about 80% of their offense today.
Yeah. And the length of the ice, Butterbaugh will flip that one forward. McLean will chip that one. Michalski dances around O'Donnell. Shot goes off the post. Valentine will clear it the length of the ice. And once again, Butterbaugh out to play it. He'll get it to Simcoe. Simcoe will send it back behind his own net. Simcoe gets around O'Donnell. Now walks around Kamzik. Shot in, gloved away by Bork. Valentine with it. Up to Kamzik. Kamzik tries to find O'Donnell. Just out of reach. Butterbaugh with it. O'Donnell will have it and send it all the way down to Bork to kill more time on this penalty kill.
Smart play by the captain. Knowing at defense back there, he could just hold and kill time.
That one goes off the boards. O'Donnell wanted to chip that one forward, ended up sticking in his pads. And now here comes Simcoe on the break, flipped over the net. Blair with it. Tries to get a tip in front, it'll go wide. And then sent all the way down by White again for Butterbaugh to retrieve behind his own net. He'll leave it for Stock. Stock moving in. Passes that one to Blair. Across, can't find Saginauk's stick. He'll pick it up from the corner. Pass back. Shot there. Save made. Rebound is loose. Save made by Bork again. Great one there on Robertson and cleared out by White. 4 seconds to go on the power play. Butterball will send it behind his own net. No one there. First person to it. White couldn't get a good shot off. Butterball's out of the net. No icing called as Bork came out.
Referee just wants to get the first game over with. They're by game, not by hour.
White still with it. 12:40 to go in this game. Michalski runs into a body, tried to spin around and moves it over into the slot. Scores! Alex Ondos gets sprung free and scores 5-hole.
A beauty. Off the stick of Ondos, beating Butterbaugh right after that huge PK by his team. And makes it 7-2 here. 12 minutes to go. 5-goal difference. We've seen comebacks in larger margins than this in a much shorter time.
Sent forward and picked up by Michalski. Over to Mahler. Mahler up to Saginauk. Saginauk holding, send it in front. Bork almost put it in his own net. Mahler's shot blockered away by Bork.
What a shot there by Mahler, looking for his second of the game. One of the other substitutes for this hockey club today. And right now, it just seems like nothing. It's all like rebounds and like shots that, you know, like as a goaltender, you're like, I can look back and be like, okay with letting in. Bork has been on his A game all game long today.
Back to the point. Simcoe will grab it in the corner. Gets poked off his stick, and now here comes White 4-on-1 developing. Down to a 3-on-1. George across. Shot. Glove save made there on Sawicki.
Sawicki still looking for that first. Almost had an accidental tip in on his own net earlier in the period. That would have been an awful first goal for him.
Mark Evans put on the brakes on that 4-on-1. One Green player, didn't see who it was right behind him. He was not happy about the sudden change in momentum.
Yeah, looks a little shaken up as Evans, too, just trying to keep his footing right now.
Now here comes Brody Simcoe through the legs behind the net. McLean in front. Rebound for Simcoe. Digging for it. Simcoe still has it. Gets poked off eventually. And now here comes Red once again. Lieb. Lieb for White. Behind the back to George. George gets hit pretty hard. So does the ref. As now Lieb gets it. White with possession to George. Can't find one more pass. Lieb gets around one. Towards the slot. Backhand shot gets covered up by Butterbaugh. That was a dangerous hit on George.
Yeah, George feeling it, immediately started grabbing his wrist as he made his way to the bench. Hopefully the U.S. team does not see that.
Watch the first period for him.
Yes. I think that's what them and Michigan State are going to go back to. Yeah, that's why we took this game.
Valentine takes it out of the zone. He'll pass it across to Kamzik. Back to Valentine. Pass there goes off a leg, as in pain in that one is Sawicki. Wraparound attempt will go a green way. But poked away there by Valentine. Now he's going to have a break. Has a man in front. Leaves it for him. Sends it into the netting.
Oh, boy.
Case Kamzik sends it flying.
I mean, U.S. Open was a couple weeks ago. Kamzik might be a two-sport athlete here. He might be a little used to his golf game right now. I got to say, though, for Team White, they are putting their bodies on the line. And this is week 2, but you can see how dialed in Captain Sean O'Donnell has his team. They will take a bullet for you.
Now here comes Green. Around shot is blocked. Valentino hold it behind Bork. Still with it. He'll move it up to O'Donnell. Poked off his stick by the glass. Michalski gets taken down by Kamzik. No call. Makes way to the point to Stock. Stock for Mahler. Mahler tries to find Stock again. Valentin will intercept that pass. Valentin across. Kamzik. One more pass. Save made by Butterbaugh.
Butterbaugh, 20 out of 27 saves so far today. Doesn't match his 30-some from last week, but still a very impressive showing out of Butterbaugh. Going to play for Smiths Falls in the CCHL next season.
Mahler with it, drops it to Michalski. Tries to find a man. Will go past everyone who had their sticks in that direction. But Stock will have it. For Belly. Belly moving forward. Belly still with it. Will eventually get poked off by a body. And now Brody Simcoe cutting for Green. 3-on-2 developing. Poked off by O'Donnell. Simcoe still with it though. And now put in front of the lane was Ondos. As he will flip that one forward just out of reach of Ferentino. O'Donnell will get there though. O'Donnell tries to find him. Gets intercepted by Marr. Sent in front. Shot goes wide there from Ferentino.
Watch Ferentino and Sawicki. I feel like those two are going to see a lot of chances. The two that don't have their first pair of goals yet.
Digging for it. Michalski will get out of it. Still with it, tries to find a man, can't do so, and now O'Donnell. He'll have a break. Sean O'Donnell, the captain, shoots it wide. Green trying to push the pressure. Michalski carrying forward. Big collision in front. Everyone seems okay.
Yeah. As everyone comes to the aid of Brody George. And off to the bench goes Michalski. Another dangerous play involving Brody George, though.
Yeah.
If you in summer league, if you're the player that gets this much attention, you got to be doing something right too.
Yeah. Simcoe will win that one forward, but not far enough. Evans will carry it. He'll give it off to Lieb. Lieb tries to find a little soft spot. George can't get there in time. George back to Lieb. Lieb cutting forward. Has one man on him, puts on the brakes. George shot save made by Butterbaugh. Simcoe poked off his stick. Lieb with it, up to George. Just poked too far, but it goes right back to Lieb. Lieb will carry in. Down is Butterbaugh and gets a stick across.
I don't know how he kept that out. He opened up Butterbaugh in the entire Green defense. And another desperation save for Butterbaugh.
Yeah. Incredible. Butterbaugh has been incredible in the 2 games he's played so far.
He really has. And it's a shame to see that his stats won't reflect that when eventually, knock on wood, if you're a Team White fan, 0-2 and whatever his goals against will be.
Spin around pass there. Can't find a stick, and it goes in. From behind the net, I believe that will be Mark Evans. Scores from behind the green net to make it 8-2.
Well, that's Evans' second of the game, and if they do end up giving it to him, we are going to give it to him. And a cheeky little shot from back there that somehow beats Butterbaugh. And as a goaltender, you kick yourself on those ones, but also it's like, what more can you really do?
Yeah.
If they perfect the bank off of your shoulder or behind, I mean, good on them. As a goaltender, it sucks.
Sawicki gets his pocket picked, but the shot from Blair goes wide. George with a backwards pass finds its way to a white stick, and here's Lieb. Lieb across, and he scores! Anthony Sawicki finally gets on the board, and it's 9-2.
Oh, good. The Team White bench all up celebrating for the John Carroll forward, Anthony Sawicki. Did not score in GOAT last season, and the second game of this campaign gets in the back of the net. counter, he does have a CHMA championship.
Oh.
John Carroll last season.
Green off the face-off, poked off by Valentine. Green trying to end the game with some positives. Moving forward. Blair in front, save made by Bork.
Yeah, White's just going to try to, I think at this point, just hold on and get out of here. I don't think you're going to see much more of that top line come back out onto the ice.
Yeah. Just under 3 minutes to go. Blair will move that one to Mahler. Mahler gets it poked off his stick. Getting pressured here by Kamzik.
Relentless.
Eventually Saginaw will have it. He was in a little battle there with Ferrantino. He'll come out with it though. Saginaw sent towards the net. Tried to go for a tip. Save made by Bork though. Kamzik with it. 2:20 to go. He'll move this one forward. Ferrantino can't get around. Michalski. He'll carry. Tries to get around Valentine, but great defense by Valentine all game. Goes for the Michigan, can't get it up. Was Michalski.
Stock got taken down in front of the net as a couple of White players taking some jabs in passing.
White now with a little bit of a spin. Ferrantino, 3-on-2 for White. Kamzik. Fires, save made. Michalski, he'll flip this one forward. McLean. Poked off his stick by O'Donnell. Kamzik with a great pick. 2-on-0 for White. Kamzik one more pass. Save made, Butterbaugh.
Looking for Ondo's backdoor for the HT. And Butterbaugh is saying, no, you're not going to get it that easy, buddy. It's also behind the play. The green and white benches done a little shade at each other. Stock and Brody George leading the charges.
Tipped on the clearing attempt. Out to play it is Bork. He'll send it through his own crease, but we'll find a friendly stick as here comes Brody George now with plenty of speed. Just 50 seconds to go. Ondos back to the point. Evans dancing along the blue line, cutting in, shot goes wide.
Another player one short of the HT.
O'Donnell tries to find it down across to George, and he will bury it. Double digits for White with 30 seconds to go as Brody George scores again.
Hat trick. It might be the final play. Let's see if they decide to run it off or not. They're going to line up for one more.
They're going to line up again as we hit 12 seconds to go. Ondos moving forward, 5 seconds over to Brody George with speed. Save made, Butterbaugh in the dying seconds on the 2-on-0. And that will do it for White versus Green. White takes this one 10-2 off a stellar, spectacular defensive performance.
Absolutely amazing performance by the defensive team. White, incredible goaltending play out of Dylan Bork. And then the Stars came out to show today here. Mark Evans with a pair, Ondos with a pair. George gets a hat trick, Sawicki gets his first. And White really with another strong showing here today. You know, last week, as you kind of alluded to, against Teal, they didn't look their best. But, like I also said, brand new team, very young roster. And this week, I don't know what they did from week 1 to week 2, but they have changed drastically. And they look like a wagon. I'm not going to lie to you right now.
And on the flip side, Green, another struggling loss. Last week losing by 10, this week by 8. That's not a good sight.
It's not, but, you know, if it wasn't for Butterbaugh, I think that number is way more, especially given the amount of shots. Today was 34 shots that came Butterbaugh's way. Last week was in the 40s. I don't remember the exact number. But for Green, there's still 4 more weeks of regular season play. You could lose 20-0 and 15-0 and still end up in first place. You just got to focus on the week 3 here. Captain Saginaw and his crew are going to work on that going into, well, I'm sorry, they're not playing next week. It's bye week.
It's off week.
Week after that. Reset. Get ready to go. I mean, Colby has a game right now after this, but besides that, get his team ready for week 3.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the each team rebounds in 2 weeks. Will White build off this momentous win, and will Green bounce back and hopefully get themselves back into the playoffs?
It's looking strong right now. They have a very good case.
Yeah. That will be it for Game 1. We will be back in about 15-ish minutes, depending on if they cut us short on
Time
again. But we'll be back in about 15 minutes for Black versus Purple.
Welcome into game number 2 of week number 2 here in the GOAT 4v4. Cade McCrory alongside Andrew Keel. Reversed roles because those are the only 2 people that are here today. But Purple is up to their old tricks again, bringing in a couple more sub-players. Reese Lauback and Alex Cervagno from the Penn State Nittany Lions. So it's almost the entire Penn State roster has showed up for today's game.
Yeah, I see three helmets that are not white with a blue stripe down it.
And the other one is Evan Conyon, who played in the Ontario Hockey League. Man, I feel for Willow, Bryan, and Tommy Whitford. They're just like, we aren't the Penn State kids, but we're still pretty good. We're on this team, aren't we? And their goaltender, I don't know who their goaltender is. They didn't tell us.
Number 33.
It is not Chase Hale. That's all I know.
And until told otherwise,
Mr. Sub?
Sure.
Didn't we do that last year?
I was going to go John Doe, but...
John Doe. But on the other side, there is a sub-goaltender, and we do know his name. It is Nikita Volsky, who played for Team White last year. Had a 3-4 record, 8.71 goals against average. Played for Lake Superior State next season after finishing his year with Corpus Christi in the Null. And then Black as well, getting Colby Saganuk and Sean O'Donnell as some reinforcements today, who just got off the ice from a previous game. So puck is down, 2 1-0 teams, 2 of the heavy favorites after last week at a showdown here in week number 2. This will be Alex Cervagno looking for DeMarsico. 2 number 14s on the ice. I am not going to get confused one bit between the two. Up to Evan Conyon. Over to DeMarsico, shot, and a save made there by Volsky. Your key is DeMarsico is going visor, Cervagno is in the bubble. I had that wrong in the warm-ups when we were talking this over. They really love to confuse us.
Yep. That's just their jobs. We figured that they changed jerseys on purpose to mess with us.
Oh, exactly. They're just like, how can we mess up the stream in any way possible today? Team Black, Leo Lation moves it to the wall looking for Luke Walkoskis. 2 players did not play in the Week 1 contest. Here's Evan Conyon. Swing out wide looking for Reese Lauback, goes through his stick, and now Black pushes the other way. Sean O'Donnell gets stripped away by DeMarsico. Matt DeMarsico gets dragged to the ice by Leo Lation and moves this along the wall. Lation recently committed to play for Oshawa in the Ontario Hockey League, the Northeastern University commit. Here's Reese Lauback. San Jose Sharks draft pick shot put on net and denied there by Nikita Volsky. DeMarsico swings this one up high. Over for Lauback. Lauback looking for a stick in front. And that one will ricochet all the way around for the changing Purple defense. Matthew Jukes works his way into the zone. Couldn't walk through Leo Lation. And he'll hold along the wall. Up high for Sean O'Donnell. Bounces off his stick to center ice. And Cervagno plays catch here with Braden Ford. Ford works his way to the right wing wall. Up across center into the zone. Ford tries to walk through, denied by Jackson Morehouse. Up to the point, Tommy Whitford couldn't keep it in for Purple. Swings it out wide for Jukes. Purple back on sides. Cervagno knocked off the puck. 2-on-1 the other way. Bell Sterling tries to carry in, denied by Whitford. Bell Sterling swings up high one more time. Out wide off the stick of Justin Gibson. And Whitford recollects underneath. All the way down for Evan Conyon, cherry picking off the bench. Conyon walks the blue line. Walks his way through the middle, kicks it to his backhand, puts one on, and then denied stop by Nikita Volsky.
Black yet to get a shot on goal this game. Something they're definitely going to need to do because we have a goalie down there. We have no idea if his skill level, how good he is. We just need a little bit of an idea. And so does Black. They need to know where to go, where to shoot on him.
A very tall and standing netminder, to say the least. At least I had no idea who it could be. Here is DeMarsico behind the net. Puts this one up high to Conyon. Underneath to Lauback. Lauback holding. Looking for some room. Puts one on. Blocker save Volsky. Around to Braden Ford. Out wide to Conyon. Back to Ford. Retreats to the blue line. Down for Lawback. Up high to Conyon. Looking for space. Puts one on, and a save there by Volsky on Ford. And now a 2-on-1 the other way for Team Black. Gibson shot, and that one sails around. Out comes Volsky. Up for Bell Sterling. Oh, my voice starting to go here. This is what happens when there's only two of us here, guys. Excuse me. Try to get my voice back in swing. Woo! I should have got a water in between. At the blue line, kept alive by Lashin. Cervagno, wrong 14 again. Back to center it goes here for Saganuk. Playing a little defense is the green captain. Swings this one into the zone for Walkoskis. Luke Walkoskis, GOAT 44 debut, feeds one up high. And wide from Sean O'Donnell. Purple takes it into the offensive zone. Oh, thank you. Black taking this one up ice now. Lashin. The first round pick for Team Black. Underneath for O'Donnell. And now Purple brings a 3-on-1 the other way. Cervagno looking for the stick of O'Brien. Quickly played down low by Purple. Up high, O'Brien shot. Blocker save Volsky. Walkoskis gets one towards the blue line. We get a second puck in play for a second. Quickly thrown back in by Purple. I didn't know we were doing money pucks here. Kanye to Marsico. Saved by Volsky. Stop by Black. We'll turn this one up ice. Back is Lawback. Puts one on. His own goaltender will have to make the save. And covered up.
Does look like on the Purple bench, Zach Hickson has just walked onto that Purple bench, so another sub coming in for Purple. Up to 5 subs. Now outclassing Black, who has 4 subs on the night.
It seemed like it was going to be an even numbers game at one point here, but Hickson, being the late addition, acquired via trade in the GOAT 4v4 draft. Didn't know we could do that until last year. It was a bit of a surprise. DeMarco sends one down, 2-on-1, led by Braden Ford. Ford to the forehand, tries to go backhand, and denied by Morehouse in retreat. Bell Sterling walks it into the backhand. Rebound there, and Mr. Sub makes the save. We still don't know who he is.
I don't think we will find out until the game's way over.
Even if that.
Yeah.
I think there is a full game that we did that we had no idea who the goalie was.
We had a full game where there was a shooter in net.
I think it was half a game. I think they eventually got somebody. If I remember correct, that was last season. As a chance for O'Donnell, Mr. Sub does make the stop, or Mr. John Doe, depending on which one of us is saying his alter ego. Jukes leads the 2-on-1 over to Conyon. Shot glove save by Volsky. Walkoskis looks to clear it out. Intercepted by Purple. DeMarco walks in, shot. Shoulder, stop Volsky. 7 shots for Purple in the first 7 minutes. Saganuk looks to clear it out. DeMarco kicks it to his forehand. Waits. Now continues forward. Banks it off the boot of Walkoskis. In front for Jukes. Weeks his way to the point for O'Brien. Sailed off a pair of sticks. Around for Jukes. Down for DeMarco. Jukes. For O'Brien. Back to DeMarco. Purple's possession has been almost the entirety of this first period. Flash it. Puts one off the stick. And beneath this puck goes. will be intercepted by Team Black. O'Donnell, the Team White captain, filling in for Team Black today. Swinged up from Morehouse. Now the zone it goes. Justin Gibson, the other captain of this Team Black squad, along with Austin Orbitz. Cervagno holds up by Slawback. Works down the right wall, dances to his backhand between the legs, couldn't pull the trigger. Second chance here for O'Brien. Sails over the nets. O'Brien in front for Hickson, sails wide. Second attempt denied there by Team Purple. Cervagno winds up shot, and that sails around the horn, and Hickson has to retreat back. Quick shot there is denied off the wall. Quickly played up by Team Purple. Cervagno plays this one out wide, receives it and puts one into the back of the net. Alex Cervagno makes it 1-0. Team Purple.
Just an absolute great opportunity by Volsky, or chance. Great slide across by Volsky, almost getting that one in a full split. But from so deep out, Cervagno is able to bury that one. Just almost barely got it off the post, too. He put that perfectly off his stick, and that one just slid right past the skate of Volsky.
1-0 Purple, as I know I have to change the score. Don't yell at me. There's only 2 of us working today. There we go, 1-0. Can Purple make it 2? Quick shot there by Condian. Sails high, and this one will go all the way back into the Purple zone. As you see at the bottom of your screen, if you missed game number 1, White over Green 10-2 for their first win of the season. Green falling to 0-2. In this game, the winner moves to 2-0, and someone will fall to 1-1. As right now, probably the 2 favorites, I would say, of who would win the Cranberry Cup this time around, is Black always seemingly in the conversation. As a save there from the Purple netminder. Now here comes Purple. Conyan with Ford. Up high, DeMarsko walks in shot, and that one high over the nets. Now Sterling. Out for Walkoskis. Breakaway. Save made. The drop pass by Ford to DeMarsico and Strott. Gives it off to O'Brien. Glove stop made by Volsky. DeMarsico feeling the pressure. Has to retreat. Walkoskis all over him. Purple looks to clear. Black recollects now at center off the give. O'Donnell with Walkoskis. Walkoskis to the forehand, diving effort by the Purple netminder. Man, I wish I knew who you were. Give some credit here.
Yeah.
Underneath, Nick Sawicki. Hopefully saw his brother get his first GOAT 44 goal in the last contest. Playing now for St. Olaf University. Has been a member of the GOAT League in every season of an existence, along with his teammate Jackson Morehouse, as that shot sails over the net. DeMarsico settles. Gives it over to O'Brien. The drop pass to Ford. Lines it over to Cervagno. Drop pass down low. The shot there is denied by Volsky. Lawback played in 1 GOAT 4v4 game last season alongside Aiden Fink and Ben Schoen. Has some substitutions for Team Purple. Lawback getting a goal in that contest. Here comes O'Donnell now for Black. Out wide for Gibson. Finds the lane, takes the shot, and a save there from the Purple goaltender. 2-on-1, Jukes with Lawback. Jukes elects the shot. Blocker save. Rebound for Lawback is tied up by Saganuk. Bell Sterling. For Gibson, walks in, and a glove save made and covered up here at 9-17.
Blacks kind of turned it up. After that goal by Purple, Blacks had a lot of offensive zone time. Purple hasn't really. They've had a couple, odd man rushes, but immediately turned away and turned back the other direction, while Blacks been able to take some zone possession.
14-7. Shots favoring Purple right now. So we said in the last game that we did that Purple had north of 40 shots. They're close to on pace for that again. Because that's an every week occurrence. Whew, look out if you're an opposing goaltender. Waback, stress pass to Jukes. Leaves it off, and now retreating back is Team Purple. Waback goes back one more time. The 2023 seventh rounder for the San Jose Sharks. Off for Kanye. Moves to DeMarsico. Forward to Kanyan. Kanyan waiting. Gets tied up. DeMarsico turning chance, and this one fanned on and will exit the zone. Off the stick of Kanyan, negates the icing. Purple looking to reset defensively. Leo Lashin banks it off the wall for Walkoskis. Drives to the middle. Looks down low for a lane, broken up by Purple, and now a 2-on-1 developing. Kanyan for Ford. Waits, and a pad stop by Volsky. Now Black with a 3-on-2. Make it 4 with Morehouse on the ice. Bell Sterling winds up, blocked away. Bell Sterling, another turning chance. This will roll off into the corner. Purple looks underneath. No one was there. Black there first. Now can set up. Sawicki. Look it. Finds a man in front. Morehouse tipped off and now retreats behind the net. Morehouse for O'Donnell. Winds up shot through a lot of traffic, and somehow Mr. Goaltender makes the save.
I don't know how he saw that one.
A lot of screens. He saw at least 4 bodies there. And there's only 8 of them on the ice, remember.
And one of them took the shot.
The 3 guys aren't accounted for here. DeMarsico breakaway, the forehand, and goes upstairs. What a beautiful goal from the captain, Matt DeMarsico. It's 2-0 Purple.
Absolute beautiful shot, roofing that one. Just getting it over Volsky, who's not a short goaltender. He is very tall, as we talked about a lot last year. Able to get it over him and find the roof of the net on a breakaway. Incredible move.
Already 4 goals on the season for number 14, DeMarsico. He had 15 goals last season for Team Purple. O'Donnell out wide for Saginaw, high over the net. A lot of juice for Saginaw after playing last game, as well as O'Donnell, both filling in once again for Team Black. Saginaw fighting for that puck with Jukes. Drives his way forward. Over Morehouse. Penalty coming up here as Black will head to the power play. Saginaw shot. Save made. Still loose. Whistle not blown. Flash it. Winds up shot. Save made. Into the corner. As they eventually now will call it. And Black heads to a power play.
Looked a little, could have been not called, I feel. Feel like it could have been waited on a little bit longer for that delayed penalty. Didn't really think Purple had possession of that one.
It'll be Matthew Jukes for a slash.
Black to the power play. No power play goals this season. Last season, Nick Sawicki buried a power play goal.
In front of the net is O'Donnell, as that will go into the netting as Purple, playing defensive, puts that one out of play without their top penalty killer as well as Jack Nolan. So some guys having to step up here for their PK. Lash it. Plays catch with Gibson. Down to Morehouse. Minute 30 to go on the power play. Morehouse shot through traffic, and a save made as Hickson drags O'Donnell to the ice. As the purple bench applauds, and black, will go for a change. Feel for O'Donnell. It's the second game in a row. He's probably tired.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I just want to park in front of that. I don't want to do anything. I mean, when the face, I'm going to park. Yep, stay right there. Bell Sterling back to Lashin. Plays catch with Gibson. Lashin shot through traffic. Blocker save. In the corner. Black trying to dig this one out. Purple off the stick of Lawback. Can play it off the Giant Eagle logo, and now a chance for Hickson on the PK. Puts one towards the net. Ends up rolling off the end wall. And Hickson looking to eat time here. Lashin trying to dig. Now gets some help in Bell Sterling as Hickson not budging, and now does. As Bell Sterling leads the 3-on-2. Out for Gibson walking in. His shot sails wide. DeMarsico fresh off the bench. 2-on-1. Waiting. Finds Lawback and just couldn't get to his stick. DeMarsico turning shot. That one sails wide. Down to 2 seconds, and Jukes is sent free in a very successful PK for Team Purple, the defending Cranberry Cup champions. Braden Ford sends it down low to Kanyan. Kanyan wanted to Michigan, couldn't settle it. We saw 2 attempts last game, already 1 attempted this game. Here's DeMarsico. Puts one in front, and Ford sneaks one up high. 3-0 Purple as Ford. 2 consecutive games with a goal now.
Just great possession by Purple. Able to keep the puck away from Black the whole game. Or that whole shift, my mistake. And just finding sticks.
Oh, yeah, my bad. 3-0. I'm behind. Sorry about that, guys. We're working through it all, okay? DeMarsico shot, and that went high over the net. Up high at the blue line. Ford walks it. Gets it knocked off his stick. Kanyan takes it underneath. Up high to DeMarsico. Across O'Brien. Down low to Kanyan. DeMarsico looking. O'Brien has a chance. Couldn't pull the trigger. Up for Ford. Black turns this the other way. Bell Sterling with a chance to go down for a breakaway and knocked off the puck. And now Saginaw leads all 4 Black players on the ice. His shot loose and somehow kept out. 3 chances for Team Black, all shut down.
That first one looked in to me.
That was close. Obviously, there's no instant replay. I mean, you are on the camera, so you have
I don't know. The
best
camera's
view.
My eyes are probably a better view than looking through the camera lens.
I don't know. Black may be getting shafted out on here.
I don't know.
The referee couldn't see from his angle. V had the best angle, I think. Unless there's an overhead camera, but no one is standing above the net. Whitford trying to walk in with 30 seconds to go here in the first period. Morehouse for O'Donnell. Breakaway. O'Donnell and a shoulder save made. Up
8 seconds. Purple not even going to try and line up. They are.
And good for the face-off percentage there for O'Donnell. You know what? Give me one more. All right, 3-0. Purple goals. All from Penn State players. Cervegno, DeMarsico, and Ford. 2-minute break. We'll be back after this. let's get back to it. Second period between Team Purple and Team Black, and they are not going to switch sides. We thought they were for a second here.
Volsky was lined up to our left for a while. Also, Purple down 2 players. 2 players went down to the locker room during that intermission, have not returned. One with a helmet, one without, so. One was a 14. I don't know which one, but.
Well, we'll find out. It looks like it's DeMarsico, I think. Just from the out far view. Of course, we're not the most smart people in the world. I think we're right. I'm not sure. Lawback's on the ice. And so is the other 14, and it's not DeMarsico, so there we go. I guess so. Wait till they turn it up. They're waiting to come on the ice. There they are. Just waiting. Or they're just going to go 6 on 4 for a second. Hurry up, go, go, go. Ford and DeMarsico to race back to the bench. 3-0 as Black actually takes the lead in shots, 18-17 here as we open the second half of play. The goals from Alex Cervegno, Matt DeMarsico, and Braden Ford. Purple. Out wide to Zach Hickson. Down low off the stick of Lawback, picked up by O'Brien. Around for Lawback. Purple changing behind the play, intercepted pass. And now Black springs free. Morehouse with a lane, his shot, and a deflection from Zach Hickson. Remains 3-0.
As you said, Black took the lead in shots, which has been interesting because I think at one point it was 14-7, and now it's 18-17. So Black has really had a swing since Purple's taken a 1-goal lead, but haven't found the back of the net, and Purple's done better at finding the back of the net with their limited shots.
Black shot here by Sawicki is a blockered away by Mr. Goaltender. Still have not figured out a name, in case anyone was curious. A shot here by Cervegno. Hits off the pad, and now Black springs free. It's a 3-on-1, while Koskis couldn't get that one across. Cervegno plays a little keep away. Holds behind his netminder. Jukes. For Kanyan, walks in, breakaway, tries to go upstairs, high over the nets. Kanyan, the RIT commit, will make his trip down to Pittsburgh with the Tigers at some point to play the NCAA Colonials. A shot rolls in by Matthew Jukes. It is 4-0 Purple. Jukes is first of his GOAT League career.
It was a good shot, just found a way to squeak through the big frame of Volsky as Purple's going to take a 4-0 lead. We saw this last week. Purple scored only 3 in that first period and then put up 12 in the second period. I don't want to say that's going to happen again, but twice is a pattern.
Yeah, Caleb McCabe and I were talking during that game. We were like, this might be the lowest scoring game that we have seen at the Go44 League. As a save by Volsky eventually makes its way in. Are they going to count it? It looks like no.
It doesn't look like it. If anyone would call it, it'd be the far ref who could see behind Volsky, but not going to count it.
I think the right call with the whistle being blown there. Trying to pull the shot off is Whitford as Ford will retreat back. Here's Braden Ford dancing his way to the outside, has some room to work with, a lot of speed up ice. Ford tries one more time and closed off by Luke Walkoskis. Saganuk drives in for Black. Walkoskis maybe a hair off sides, not called. Saganuk looking a shot. Pad save, rebound for Walkoskis. Stripped by Team Purple. DeMarsico finds Kanyan, breakaway, glove save by Volsky.
Great defensive there by Lashin, almost able to get a stick lift in there. But a great comeback by Lashin.
You notice for Black has held their own in this hockey game.
Just can't get one on the board.
Yeah, Mr. Stonewall down there has just been phenomenal as well. It's perfect 20 for 20 so far. Morehouse with O'Donnell. O'Donnell shot and maybe getting a piece of it was the goaltender. Sails high and into the netting.
Maybe we should call him Stonewall Jackson over there.
Stonewall Jackson. Civil War, right?
Some war. I think it was Civil War. That sounds right.
I'm pretty good at history. It's not good at other stuff. History's nice. It's a fun topic. Purple up ice. Comes forward. Has Lawback with him, as well as DeMarco. Tries DeMarco. Bounces off his stick. Out wide to Ford. The give to Kanyan. Down low for DeMarco. Stripped by O'Donnell. And now Gibson takes it up ice. Leaves it off for Sawicki. Sawicki waiting. Morehouse shot. He scores. The captain and the founder gets the first goal of the game for Team Black.
Morehouse coming off 3 goals last week for Team Black in their win over Red. Had to think for a second there. I was like, what team didn't I make?
What team? Yeah, it's Red.
Yeah. And gets one on the board here. Looking to mount the comeback for Black.
Interesting little stat here. Last season, Morehouse only had 4 total goals through 1.5, or I'd say one. That's hard math again. It's not been 2 games, and he's already matched that. Purple collecting at their own blue line. It's DeMarco with some room. Walks in, goes between his legs, looks to go the forehand, retreats behind the net. Feels the pressure, gives it off to Cervagno. Up high for Lawback. Settles. Feels the pressure. DeMarco plays catch with him. Lawback makes his way in, looks to go up high. Rebound is there. And put into his own net by Gibson. And that'll go to Lawback, being the last one to touch it. It's 5-1.
I don't even know what words you can say there. Gibson just puts it straight through Volsky's legs. And that might kill any momentum they might have started.
No matter which way you look at it, number 8 scored. But you have to feel awful for Gibson. Just wanted to put that off behind the nets. And Volsky, his 5-hole was there and open. 5-1. As the Penn State players continue to run up the scoring in terms of who is the ones getting the goals. Jukes for DeMarco, rings one off the post. Cohen Bell Sterling takes this one to center. Across the blue line, looks to dance in, denied by Zachary Hickson. And now to center will be played up by O'Brien, looking for Whitford and Stride, Purple's first round selection in the 25 GOAT draft. Underneath, Saganook will pin this behind the net and wait. 15 minutes to go here. 5-1 Purple. Now Sterling walks it to the backhand, makes a nice move, but pushed off by Whitford. Ford leaves it off for O'Brien. Pushes this all the way back into the purple zone as Jukes has enough time to settle. You also forget as well, Zach Hickson is a member of the Penn State Nittany Lion organization, just not a member of their NCAA hockey club. He's technically a free agent, if you want to call it, but attends Penn State University. O'Donnell shot, glove save made, and Mr. Tendy up to 22 saves on the night.
Yeah, he's looked really strong. I said earlier, you got to test him, know what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are. I mean, so far it's been everything is a strength and nothing's a weakness.
Let's shoot as many times as we can. Eventually, something goes in. And enough moves pulls the goaltender out of the net eventually to score a goal.
Yeah, unless you're Butterball.
No, Landon Butterball is insane. 3-on-1 Purple. DeMarco waiting, wants to go back toward a Lawback as the Black defense was trying to get a block off, and DeMarco roofs that one for his second of the game. Purple, 6-1 lead.
Not much Black can do there, as it seems like any fire they got from that one goal from Morehouse left with Gibson putting in his own net.
It's an unfortunate break, but it seemed like Purple, it's a costly mistake. As off the crossbars, Laubach looking to go upstairs. O'Donnell. Waiting. Goes beneath the net here. Leaves it for Sawicki. Winds up shot. That one getting a piece on the netminder. Stays in play. Pie to Morehouse. His shot through a deflection. And a stop made. Morehouse walks this one in. Tries to go up high. Knocked off by Kanyan. And here comes Purple. To Marsico. Walks his way into the zone. Down for Ford. Leaves it off the give and go, and Ford couldn't finish with a phenomenal save by Nikita Volsky. It was almost highlight reel-esque right there. Kanyan dancing in his defensive zone. Up forward to Marsico. Marsico walks in, looks to go backhand, and shut down by Sawicki. Leo Lashin a breakaway. Lashin shot, save, rebound, and is put in the back of the net. Leo Lashin's first in the GOAT 44 League. Black cuts it after the 6-2.
Lashin looking to start some kindling of the comeback. 12 minutes to go in this second period, needing 4 goals. It's a goal every 3 minutes.
Oh, here we go again. Every game with you. Leo Lashin, the Oshawa General future commitment. With the new ruling in place, a lot of these players electing to go to the Ontario Hockey League before heading to the NCAA. As we saw Case Kamzik in the game prior. We might see Brody George do it after next season with the USNTDP. A lot of changing parts here with junior hockey and eventually going to the collegiate ranks. Here's Bell Sterling. Walks to the outside. Down low for Gibson. Up high for Walkoskis, and a save made. Lashin to Bell Sterling. Pulls the trigger and works its way into the back of the net. Cohen Bell Sterling, I believe, will get credit. It's 6-3.
Yeah, we're even on own goals on that one, as that one goes off Whitford and finds its way in the back of the net. So it's basically 5-3, but with 2 own goals.
What's the chances? So the purple goal was Gibson, number 8. Wahlback was the last to touch it, number 8. This one, Tommy Whitford puts in the back of the own net, number 2. Last to touch it, Cohen Bell Sterling, number 2. That's weird. That's how you make it even, I guess. The same number. I know there's only 12 different numbers or 13 different numbers to choose from. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Bell Sterling takes it behind the net. Up for Gibson, deflected by O'Donnell and wide. Team Black is really feeling it right now. The shot from the point, save made. Up high for Morehouse, diving effort. As the purple bench giving him some words of encouragement as he meets the front of their bench. And cleared down for Volsky to play it.
Volsky's going to put it behind the net so Gibson can't put it in the net.
Smart move. Hockey 101 there. I'd say the Steve Dangle, if you're a goaltender, 10 the goal, but I don't think that one applies here. Braden Ford walks it up high, intercepted pass, Purple 4-on-1. Gibson leads the rush to Morehouse. Up high, Bell Sterling is shot and blocked by Ford in the lane. Ford off the give of DeMarsico, couldn't receive the pass, and now Black with it 3-on-1 the other way. Bell Sterling to Gibson down low. Morehouse waits a shot, glove save, rebound still there. Eventually picked up by Purple, and a 3-on-1 the other way. Ford to O'Brien. In front, deflected chance, denied by Volsky. Winding up is Ford. Another stop there by Volsky. DeMarsico waiting. Goes back to the point for Kanyan. And Purple will reset. Gives us a break to reset. Ford. He's off for Kanyan. Retreats back one more time. Onion's going to sit back and relax here. Someone get him an espresso back there, calm some nerves. Up comes Laback down the right wall. Shot there, and a save made by Nikita Volsky, and will cover up.
8 minutes to go in this game. Black has managed to make this a 3-goal game once again, although our scorekeeper has yet to update anything since the start of the second period.
I do apologize.
It is actually 6-3, not 3-0.
Oops. I'll fix it, don't worry. It's hard to forget, or hard to remember, I should say, how many tasks I'm supposed to be doing right now. With two of us, you just focus on one thing, and you're like, oh crap, I have to do the other thing, and you just completely forget to do the other thing. 6-3, there we go, that's correct. I will remember for the next 7 minutes, and probably no one will score. Walkoskis, off the giveaway. Plays this one over. Saganuk for Sawicki, and that one hits off of the netminder and out of play. Is that a Brandon Sabota I see down there?
I can't tell you faces. That's your thing.
If he is, that's a big get for Red for next game.
Yeah.
He has a gold medal around his chest, too. Team USA at the World Juniors, big flex. Played deck hockey with that kid. He was stupidly good at it. Off a deflection, Sawicki puts one on. And this one will be cleared by Team Purple the length of the ice. Volsky says, nah, we're not doing icings, and comes out to play. Makes juke himself into the wards. You did it once last game, I have to do it now too. Sawicki swings out wide, one in Gibson. Gibson retreats back, puts on the brakes, banks it off the wall. 2-on-1 developing Walkoskis with Sawicki. Sawicki winds up shot, shoulder, save from the Purple netminder. Dukes winds up shot, rebound there, gets his third rebound in front, and to the back of the net. Zach Hickson makes it 7-3 Purple.
The good comeback story that Black was looking at, they were starting to get more momentum, but just a bad break. Unable to get back across was Volsky. If he gets across on that one, that's a great save. ESPN highlight for sure. Although he has to beat out Butterbaugh from last game from a couple of those.
There's always something new every week and go to who gets the debate on the ESPN Sports Center highlight reel. Volsky makes the save on DeMarsico, and almost a breakaway for Morehouse. DeMarsico out wide to Braden Ford. Finds O'Brien. Over to DeMarsico shot, and stopped by Volsky. Settled now by Ford, under 5 to go in the 7-3 contest. DeMarsico walks in between the legs, almost put that one through. Finds Ford, his shot goes upstairs, and a bar down beauty from Mr. Braden Ford. It's 8-3 Purple.
Back up on the scoreboard is Purple. Up by 5 now. Back where they were not too long ago. And Purple seems to be running away with it.
Walked in shot, and Laback goes 5-hole. 9-3 as Laback nets his second of the game.
Just as I said. Seems like Purple's starting to run away with it. Up to a 6-goal lead now.
That's 3 goals in a row. I was actually on it.
Good job.
I'm so proud of myself. Here's Laback looking for the HT as that deflects off some sticks. 36 shots now for Team Purple. Laback intercepted past Sawicki. 2-on-1 with Morehouse. Sawicki elects the shot and a save made. Waiting is Ford, gives it off to DeMarsico. DeMarsico walking in, tries to go backhand, and Volsky sticks that one away in a clear by Team Black. Driving through the middle is Laubach. Finds O'Brien. O'Brien walks in, pad save there by Volsky. Braden Ford. Down low to Kanyan. For Cervegno, could not pull the trigger. Over to Ford. Ford dangles one, make it two. How about three? To the backhand, and Kanyan couldn't sneak it through. Sawicki to Morehouse. Banks it up, tries to find O'Donnell past his stick. Icing is called. And the referee says, my bad. This one should go to center.
It should. And it is just look like it's going to go center.
Good call. I don't think he cares for either team. The clock's still running. They could sit and argue for another minute if they wanted to.
I'm sure Purple wants to.
Like, all right, that's fine.
Just end the game for that is what they want.
Let's get out of here. And they maybe want one more. Get to that 40 shot mark again. Stretch past Kanyan. Spins. Looks for O'Brien. Just passes it as Kanyan dragged to the ice and wants a call and will not get one. As into the boards comes Bell Sterling. Purple is offside as Kanyan never got back onside from the previous play.
Could be an argument made from Purple fans that Black put it back into their own zone, but ref's going to say no, and offside is the call.
Whitford off the face-off win, retreats back behind his own net with 90 seconds to play here in the final frame. O'Brien leaves it for Kanyan. Gets bodied by Bell Sterling. Puck rolls back to Kanyan. To his forehand. Denied there by the netminder. Over to Kanyan once more. Off the give from Whitford. Kanyan waiting. Shovels it for Cervegno. Stripped away by Walkoskis. And he will ship this one out of the zone for Leo Lashin as we under a minute to go. Lashin off to the corner. Finds Bell Sterling. Blocked away. Saginaw to pick it up for Team Black. Walks in to Bell Sterling. A shot. Riggs one off the crossbar. Purple wants one more chance to get it out. They do. And they'll take it to center off the stick of O'Brien. 30 seconds to go. Leaves it off for Kanyan. Dangles around one. Works to the outside. His shot saved by Volsky. Rebound is loose. O'Brien waiting. And Walkoskis in the lane to block it away. Kanyan shot. 5-hole and denied by Volsky. And that should do it. Purple improves the 2-0 on the season with a 9-3 victory over Team Black.
Yeah, it was I don't want to say domination, but it was domination by this Purple team. As from the beginning, it didn't seem like Black wanted it, and then Black kind of gave a little push at the end of the second, didn't get anything in, but then Purple came out in the second and did the same thing. They were dominant, and then there was that small chance where Black was coming back, and then Purple took it right back from him.
A lot of fight from Black. Some phenomenal performance by Mr. Goaltender down there.
Yeah.
Whoever he may be, hats off to you, sir. You're the number one star of this hockey game. 39 shots to 30 in favor of Team Purple. As a pair of goals from DeMarco along with Laubach in his return to the GOAT 4v4 League. Black gets their goals from the captain Morehouse, Leo Lashin, and Cohen Bell Sterling. 2-0. The only 2-0 team right now in the GOAT 4v4 League belongs to Team Purple. Black falls to 1-1. And in our previous matchup, Team White improves to 1-1. Green 0-2. Up next, the Humphrey brothers and crew take on Braxton Whitehead's boys and Team Teal, as Team Teal looks to be the second team to stay undefeated. Will they? Let's find out. 14 minutes break. We'll be back at 7:50 for Teal versus Ready.
Welcome back to the final game of this two-person crew between Team Teal and Team Red. Team Red coming off the closest loss of the week last week. Words are getting jumbled already.
Look, give us a break.
They lost 15-10 to Black. Teal coming out on top. I don't remember the exact score. 10-5?
Sounds close.
That
enough.
sounds right.
Yeah.
Win over White.
It is 10-5. You're welcome.
Yep. Could have just looked down at my sheet.
It
But
says 5 goals. This is why week 1's the best, because you look down, you know exactly what happened.
Yep.
And then you get to week 4 and you're like, I don't remember what happened in week 1. There was a break in between. I don't remember the first 2 weeks.
As we will get our first national anthem of the night.
If you pick the under 1.5 on the FanDuel Sportsbook and we're not associated with Moneyline, congratulations.
All right, we will step away for our national anthem.
Wonderfully done.
Wonderfully done once again as we get ready for this game. What are you looking forward to?
2 words. Brandon Svoboda.
Back.
San Jose Sharks draft pick. He got a gold medal with the World Junior team. He got so close to winning a natty with Boston. This kid isn't... there's not enough words to describe. A, what he's done for Pittsburgh hockey youth and people that look up to him, and B, the presence he has on the ice.
Should be a star-studded Red lineup, especially with Humphreys both out there as well. I think, despite the fact the Red team started 0-1, they may be the favorites coming into this game.
Oh, they are. Look at the 4 they have out here. The Humphreys brothers, Svoboda, and Luke Malpis. That is a nuts starting 4, but that doesn't discredit Teal.
Teal has a very young core, seeing if they can take out some of the more veteran in this league, I guess, Red team. Moving forward with Svoboda. He will move in to the Teal zone. Good defense there by Imler. Make its way out to the point to Malbouf. Malbouf across to Humphreys. Humphreys going to send it towards the net, try to find his brother. Intercepted, though, by Imler. Now here comes Teal. Moving forward, it's A.J. Schaff. Schaff across the dot, stick save! Can't get the rebound, though, as Imler. Behind the net, it's picked up by Svoboda. He will move forward for Red. He has Humphreys with him. It will go to Humphreys. He'll make it out to the point. Tomko dangling in, down to the corner. Shot goes off the net. Imler will move that one over. Teal going to slow things down with Schooley. Schooley drops it. McKenzie will send it back behind him to Trevino. Trevino tries to find Schooley just out of his reach. And the first to get there will be Kozlina. Kozlina up to Tomko. Tomko carrying for Red, moving it forward. Red, a lot of speed so far out of the gate. Teal looking to match that. Here comes McKenzie. McKenzie bank pass up to Schooley. Schooley in, shot into the netting. He had Mistretta going the wrong way if he picks that pocket.
Yeah, Mistretta's a very hard goaltender to fool. We saw that last week against Team Black. Honestly, it should have been, I think, a lot higher scoring game if it wasn't for a guy like Charlie. Similar to what we saw earlier with our guy Butterbach. What do we see here?
We see Teal number 14, who is not on my roster.
Oh, no. Oh, I got to look at the sheet real quick. See if Mr. Morehouse gave me a little bit of an updated roster or something.
Tomko will carry for Red. He'll send that the length of the ice to Kozlina. Kozlina tries to drop to Tomko, will go out of the zone. Across here.
No number 14.
Harvey's pass is intercepted. Picks it back up, gives it to Tomko. Now back to Rosensteel. Rosensteel breaking through the Teal defense. Spins around, back to the point. Harvey will try and send it in deep, no one there. Teal will take it. Dane Ramirez moves it forward. Quinn McKenzie gets beat out by Mistretta. Red's going to take this. Will be Harvey. Harvey shot off the far post. Kozlina keeps it in at the line. Kozlina moving in. Pass across. Can't find the stick of Smith. Smith with it. Down in front. Just poked wide off Kozlina's stick. Smith tries to find Humphreys just out of his reach. J.C. Humphreys try and sends it in out of reach and will be an icing just barely over that red line.
We do want to shout out Will Tomko real quick as well. The NHL draft is coming in a 2-day span as Mr. Tomko is eligible to be selected in this year's NHL draft. So best of luck to Will Tomko. Let's make it 3 years in a row, or 4 years in a row, excuse me,
every year.
Good players being drafted. Started with Logan Coley, then Brandon Sabota, and then Christian Humphreys.
Here is Humphreys. That one's going to make its way in. Didn't look like it went in at first. Beats Blackburn. Looked like bounced off his glove and then over.
Yeah, that's just, once again, why do you think Christian Humphreys was drafted? Shots like that just roll up on goaltenders like Blackburn, and it's a hard stop. And Humphreys played a little bit of Michigan, moved his way to Kitchen in the LHL. The Colorado Avalanche 7th round draft pick strikes first.
With it now is Malbouf. So move it forward to Humphreys. Humphreys up to Smith. Smith carrying in for Red. His shot will go in. Noah Smith will score his first of the GOAT 4v4 League, and quickly it's 2-0 Teal.
Noah Smith played with Seacoast 18 years, going to play for Penn's Elite next year, one of the most prestigious programs across the country. And gets his first in the GOAT 44 League. Was one of the guys that did not score last week for Red. A lot of guys got that first goal off their back. Noah Smith finally does his.
Teal looking to bounce back. That one's going to be left there for Imler. Drop back. Shot there is tipped. Rebound saved away by Mistretta. Taking forward, getting it out is Imler. Shot glove saved by Mistretta. They keep this a 2-goal game.
Nice stop there by Charlie Mistretta, as Teal just trying to find something to open up the goaltender. And I'm still trying to figure out who number 14 is. See a helmet? There's something on the helmet that will give us away what it is. The problem is it's just a little too far out of my eye reach.
Yeah. A little too far.
Maybe downstairs can give us some help at some point here. They usually do. That's the one thing of having a PA announcer this year is amazing.
And what a play by our Mystery 14, jumping up at the line to keep that one in. Just no one there to help him. Malbouf loses that one, and now here comes Teal on a 2-on-1. Ackland, shot, misses wide. Rebound, misses wide again by our Mystery 14.
If he scores there, we find out who he is.
Here comes Svoboda. Moving in off the back of the net. Still with it. Tomko tries to find Humphreys. Will eventually make it there. Almost scored a Crosby-esque bat-in goal. Svoboda at the top of the slot. Fans on it. Now here comes Teal. Ackland puts on the brakes, drops it back. McKenzie moves around. What a goal! Quinn McKenzie dances Mistretta out of his shorts, and it's a 2-1 game.
My goodness, Quinn McKenzie, the Penn State commit, had a phenomenal week last week, netting in a pair of goals. He was the first-round pick of last year's GOAT draft for Team Teal when LJ Mooney was captain. And this kid he's a performer, to say the least. He's only improved every time we've seen him.
Svoboda leaves it off for Tomko. Tomko tries to carry and almost gets through all of Teal's defense. Back to Rosensteel. Shot tipped wide. Harvey with it. Back to Rosensteel. Rosensteel out of the corner, sent in front. Blocked away though. Moving forward to Schooley. Schooley can't get to the puck first. Harvey with it. Coming out with it is Amel. Luke Amel tried to find his D-man, just out of the zone. Moving forward, here comes Teal again. Shot there, high and wide, that time by Schaff. So Svoboda gets around one. Here he comes, leaves it for Tomko. Tomko's shot just goes wide. Amel's clearing attempt, kept in by Red. Harvey to Svoboda, over to Tomko. Not in his wheelhouse, just out of the reach of Carter Williams. Teal looking to turn it around. Schooley is going to put on the brakes, flip it back around. Now Imler with it. Leaves it for a mystery 14. Who sends it across, sent in by Imler. Going to get it is Teal. Rosensteel will put a stop to it. We'll move it up to Harvey. Harvey leaves it for Anstis. Pickpocketed, and now here comes Teal. Breakaway here from McKenzie. Goes 5-hole rebound, doesn't go in. That one looked like it went in.
From my angle here, once again, camera's not doing a ton of favors. I think that was in.
Not a lot of celebrating by McKenzie, so maybe the right call on the ice. That's Kozlina back the other way, almost got a rebounder. Oh, Kozlina will flip that one out to Harvey at the point. Harvey playing with it on the FedEx logo. Moves it over to Kozlina. Kozlina still with it. 2 Teal on him. Will go out of the zone with Anstis. Harvey with it. Towards the middle, gets pickpocketed. Teal moving forward. Here they come, AJ Schaff. He will score! That one will count, and Teal has crawled back. It's tied at 2.
What a shot from AJ Schaff. The GOAT veteran ties his team up at 2. Also, congrats to him. He'll be joining Sarnia of the Ontario Hockey League. As I said, a lot of commitments happened. His teammate Tristan Trevino will join Erie of the Ontario Hockey League. Supposed to join RMU, decides to go 1 year at the junior level first. Interesting move.
Schooley with it towards the slot. In front. Scores! AJ Schaff rings it off the bar and in, and Teal takes the lead.
The Sarnia scouting staff is licking their lips right now and going, yeah, we found a gem right here in AJ Schaff. What a beautiful ripper. And Mistretta just had no shot at stopping that one.
And look what happened right after that. Oh, I was going to say both Humphreys jump on the ice, but only one Humphreys on the ice.
It's still pretty big if one Humphreys is on the ice. More college commitments later because a lot more happened.
And here come Teal once again. Ackland with it. Still fighting for it. Kozlina will take it off him, though. As Red looking to answer 3 unanswered from Teal to take the lead after being down 2-0.
Yeah, this team is too skilled to be letting up a 3-goal lead like that.
Humphreys to Kozlina in the slot. Malbouf shot. Just a little too slow. Easily getting that is Blackburn. Behind the net. Anstis. Spinning with it. We'll move it all the way across to Malbouf. Malbouf at the point. Shot gets deflected. Blocked there from Trevino.
He's feeling that one.
McKenzie tried to get a rush going, but broken up by Humphreys. Malbouf to Humphreys. Now both Humphreys on the ice. Humphreys with it to his brother. Poked off his stick just barely. Great defensive play by Luca Mel as he will pick up this puck after beating both Humphreys in that scrum. Looped over by McKenzie. Here's Schaff. Schaff shot, save made, rebound. Almost right in the wheelhouse, but Malbouf will scoop that up. Humphreys carrying. Tomko. Shot, save made, will go in. Squeaks through Blackburn, and we have a tie game 1 again.
That's what you expect from the Red offense right there. Christian Humphreys, the Will Tomko, he was one of the best shots in the entire GOAT 44 league, and goes up high on Ethan Blackburn. Tie game. Speaking of JC as well, committed to SUNY Cortland, NCAA.
After those last 2 games, it feels good to have one with a lot of goals.
I mean, it's getting back to our nostalgic days of GOAT, where it was, every game was 16-12.
Tomko over to Svoboda, just bounces off his stick. Svoboda back to the point. Humphreys spin around him. Svoboda dancing around, bad angle shot, goes off the mask. Here comes Teal. AJ Schaff, 3-on-2, tries to go across to Schooley. Too far for him. Schooley still with it. Back. Trevino, one-timer attempt there by Schaff. Just fans on it. The length of the ice, Tomko tucks it with a high stick. Also, I think he was offside when he touched that one.
Yeah, that was a double whammy on that one if you were red.
And just like that, here comes Acklin. George Acklin, 5-hole, goes in. Squeaks it through the 5-hole. George Acklin opens it up and puts it in.
Another player who is a GOAT veteran in his second season that did not score a goal last year. What a way to get your first.
Yeah, George Acklin sprawled free and just opens up Mistretta.
Might be the prettiest goal we've seen tonight.
It's up there. Here comes Teal once again. Amel spinning, gets taken down. Couldn't get the pass over to McKenzie. Acklin, though, be the first one to it. Red falling apart defensively as Teal kind of working their way around right now.
Remember last season, that was Red's strength, was their defense. I bring back pretty much the same exact roster.
The big change, though, was the trade on the back end. Losing that 1-2 punch with Malbouf. I think with Trevino.
I think it was Trevino.
So Trevino playing against his former team. Those two were the 1-2 punch that was very deadly on defense. Literally switching every shift. But now, losing that big defense could be costly.
Yeah, a lot of forwards have to step up, and you can't play Malbouf for the full 46 minutes either. I mean, that's just cruel if you did.
Yeah.
But you got to find some help defensively.
Smith with it. Behind the net. Sends it to the center. Rosensteel dances. Loses it, though. It's in the corner. Smith fighting for it. He'll end up on the stick of our mystery man, but passes that one quickly.
Just need a point out of him to figure out who you are.
Moving forward. Smith. Behind the net, goes for a wraparound. Multiple chances there. Unable to do it is Harvey. Imler tried to stretch it up to Schaff. Unable to do so, and offside as there was back and forth along the blue line.
Avery Antis on the ice in his second game. Will play with Humphreys next year with Kitchener in the Ontario Hockey League. Maybe try to build some chemistry going before that gets started.
Moving over, and here comes Schooley off the post, right on the corner bar. Could have been great for Schooley. His first could have been on that one.
That was a beauty.
Now Kozlina the other way, save there and a rebound. Schaff will send that behind his own net. Imler Moves this one forward. Schooley again. Another chance. Makes a miss. That one he won't miss. Brendan Schooley gets his first GOAT 4v4 goal. And it's 5-3 Teal.
What a goal there from the Oklahoma forward. And Teal, 5 unanswered.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We talked before this started, and I said, I think whoever wins this game will move to 2 in my power rankings.
It will say a lot, because if Teal does win this game, they're the second and only other undefeated team besides Purple as well. So you're kind of forced to put them up there. But if Red wins, it's a bunch of 1-1 teams. So everyone's pretty close in the grand scheme of things.
And here comes Quinn McKenzie once again. Breakaway. Saved by Mistretta. Tried to get him sleeping.
I think every breakaway they're trying to one-up the next move, and each of them are just better than the next.
Humphreys looking to put an end to the run. A 5-0 run for Teal. Trevino with it. He'll move it forward. McKenzie again. 2-on-1 with Trevino. McKenzie waits. Tipped by Trevino. And that one goes wide as he falls over Mistretta.
Channeling is in her Bobby Orr there. Try to finish that one off.
Here comes Red. Malbouf gets it poked off his stick. But too far. Mistretta will be the first one to it. And he'll flip that one forward. Malbouf up to Humphreys. Humphreys in. Shot goes wide. And that one's going to wrap all the way around the boards. And guess who it is? Quinn McKenzie. 1-on-1, has to wait while his team changes. Doing a great job keeping the puck away, but just poked away by Tomko. Now a 2-on-1 for Red. Tomko across. And he will bury that one. Gets him moving. And Blackburn can't stay to his left. And Will Tomko will bury that one to make it 5-4.
I mean, Rosensteel, I believe, on the bat. We'll get that one. Regardless, still, the drought is over.
Yeah.
It's back to a 1-goal game. It's exactly what you needed.
I might have missed who got that one. It looked like it was Tomko from my angle.
Original primary assist Tomko.
Oh.
So you're not far off. It's not like, oh, he was on the bench. No, he got the primary assist. He set up the whole thing. I mean, he deserves the goal, probably.
Rosensteel. Rosensteel up. Humphreys dancing around. In front, Tomko's shot misses the net. Blackburn was down. Taking forward, Schooley. It'll make its way out. Pass across to a guy who was going onto the bench. Unfortunate break for Teal, but bounce comes right back their way. And Mel moves it up. Schaff with it. Switching. Shot! Schaff goes over the net. Schooley with it. He'll take it back to center to regroup.
A loud shot by A.J. Schaff. And Teal's offense is just humming with opportunity.
That one tipped into the offensive zone by ML. Malbouf will move that one forward. Rosensteel will carry. Rosensteel shot off the bar. Tomko will make his way back to Rosensteel over to Malbouf. Poke down in the corner. Tomko the first one to get possession. Malbouf with it now. Back to Humphreys. Humphreys top of the circle. Amel is on him. Humphreys still dancing with it. Keeps it onside, down to Tomko. Tomko tries to find Rosensteel. Can't find him through all the bodies. It'll be Trevino. His clearing attempt is blocked. Rosensteel with it. Shot! Deflected towards the net, almost another own goal. Red. Trevino tries to get it out. Hit his own man in Schooley twice. It's now hit Schooley. Been trying to be cleared by Teal. That one gets out just past Amel, though. He's going to put on the speed, and he will beat out the icing. Fanning on that pass attempt. Turned around, and now here comes Teal. Offside is the call. I don't even know if the puck ever crossed the line.
I think it did. I think this was the right call. I think Ackland was just unaware that Amel was still down in the corner. But let's go back to that red zone. Christian Humphrey's individual effort to keep that puck alive and try to find open man. There were 3 teal sweaters around him, and he was able to get the pass off for an opportunity for his team.
Ackland gets around a defender, and he scores! Ackland is going to walk Caden Harvey, and that's going to put Teal back up by 2.
You know, Ackland would have had a breakaway there off the offsides if Amel was either onside or if it had stayed on the line. And Ackland says, you know what, I'll just do it myself this time. A beautiful goal here for Team Teal.
McKenzie in, save made. Teal has been buzzing ever since being down 3-0. Since then, it's been a 6-1 swing by Teal.
Yeah, just insane from their offense what they've been able to produce.
So Boda's shot saved away. He's still with it. He will lose it to McKenzie. Now here comes Teal. Just poked a little too far. And now Harvey has it. Harvey moving forward. Boda, shot save made by Blackburn. Teal really trying to get out. Red has been all over offensively. Shot there, and it's going to go in. Caden Harvey will make up for getting dangled and puts one in the back of the net as we end the first period.
As long as you can respond, that is the best case scenario there for Caden Harvey. They're going to drop the puck here. They're going to try to get something going with a couple seconds left.
5 seconds left. Red can't do anything with it, as that will be the end of this first period. That was a quick first period.
It felt quick, even though it is the running clock, but that just felt a lot quicker than the other periods that we've had.
A lot of fast-paced action. 6-5 the score after 1. We will be back in a minute 50. It looks like Red and Teal did not want to wait the whole 2 minutes, as we have 40 seconds left on that clock.
I really appreciate that, guys.
Red will win the opening draws. They are playing from behind. Here comes Humphreys. Moving forward. Passes that one over. Harvey with it. Down to Sabota. Sabota still with it, leaves it. Smith with it. His pass gets deflected. Now it's picked up by Schooley. Schooley will carry for Teal. Gets around Humphreys. Shot there is saved away. Rebound almost goes in off Harvey. Schooley still fighting for it. Eventually it'll go to Sabota. And he will handle that one. Almost put in his own net. Sabota moves that one forward. Harvey with it. He will circle back. Waiting for the right time. Chip there, but still makes its way to Kozlina. Digging for it, though, is Teal. Schaff will move this one forward to Ackland. Ackland in, off the post. Red looking to go the other way. Here comes Humphreys with it. Humphreys hits the trailer in Malbouf. Finds a man in front. Tip just wide by Kozlina. McKenzie. He'll flick this one to Imler. Into the center. 4-on-2 developing for Teal. Ackland goes off the back of Anstis. That one's going to be sent down Blackburn out to get it. No Teal in the area. He threw it. Humphreys with it. Tries to go behind the back. Can't find Kozlina. And now here comes Teal. Quinn McKenzie with it. McKenzie waits. Drops it back. Schooley can't find him. Here comes Kozlina. Turned over. Amel. Up to McKenzie. McKenzie leaves it for Amel. Amel puts on the brakes. Back to the point to Schooley. Trevino. Trevino tries to find Schooley. He will. Schooley dancing with it. Into the slot shot. Save made by Mistretta.
Yeah, it's finally get to say we found out who number 14 is. It's Jack O'Brien. His brother Will played last game. And then a fun little stat here. You see at the bottom of your screen the scores from the last couple of games. That's what's pretty cool when we're talking in the 30-second intermission. The last scores were 10-2 and 9-3. Total of 12 goals. Through the first half of this game, there's been 11.
Oh, what a save by Mistretta there on Amel. Almost making it 12.
Does the next goal win? Is it a money puck? Just end the game now?
Mistretta made a great save there.
He really did. That was an amazing save. He's seen a ton of shots. I think the shot clock is wrong. I think there's way more in favor of Teal here.
Humphreys across. One more pass. Save made by Blackburn.
Making the Acha proud.
Here comes McKenzie. Makes Malbouf trip. Save made by Mistretta. And a quick whistle.
The goaltending clinic. The last 30 seconds from Mistretta on Blackburn.
It's the opposite of the first period.
It is. I think the goaltenders prefer this one way more than the
I
first
think they
period.
do too.
So Caleb McCabe, if he was watching right now, he isn't here today, sadly, but anytime Blackburn made a
there's
save,
only two of us.
yes, he was like, making the Acha proud, Ethan. Making the Acha proud. Oh, there's only one Acha kid here, and it's you. You're making us all proud.
Here comes Sabota. He gets taken off the puck by O'Brien. Back to Tomko at the point. Harvey with it. Sabota dances around. One. Hope there by Schooley. Digging for it. It'll eventually go the red way. Sabota tries to pick a corner and goes into the netting up above. As this is an interesting game, as Harvey was the second overall pick by Red, who traded Tristan Trevino for that pick.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing for sure, especially when you know who the picks are, and then you compare it after a couple games or a season later. Like, was it really fair value? Who really won the trade?
Red also got, or Teal also got a third, or Red got a third.
Yeah, it's not like they got absolutely nothing for. Like, they got an absolute haul in the grand scheme of things from Teal.
And we have no idea who that third round pick ended up being. We only know the first round picks.
Yeah, I think Jackson can, share with us that information. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see how the draft order went.
Here comes O'Brien. O'Brien across in front, and he scores! George Ackland gets his hat trick goal after not scoring all last season. He's got 3 tonight.
Yeah, it's impressive. And I think my favorite thing about doing the GOAT League here, Andrew, is when you see a guy from year one, when they first start in the GOAT League, maybe they just come out of high school or, a different level, and they make the jump somewhere else. And how much did you improve from one season to the next? And you could just see a vast difference in the game of George Ackland, his confidence level, and then his shot as well.
Tomko gets blocks a pass, and now he moves in, gets poked away, though, by Trevino. That's what Red is missing right now, is someone like Tristan Trevino. I wonder what it'd be like in a Red uniform.
Not sure.
Here comes this Teal team. 3-on-1. Sent across. Schaff scores! His hat trick goal. And it is now 8-5 in favor of Teal.
Dang, the 12 goal curse broke. AJ Schaff, there's been a fire lit under him today. And I'll say that he has been very impressive. And a hat trick for him. That's this second game in a row with a hattie. 6 goals. That's leading the entire Goat League.
Yeah, he's been on fire. And this is not the same Teal team that has missed the playoffs every single season.
Now let's talk about Jack Edwards and Braxton Whitehead aren't even in the lineup today either.
Yeah.
They're 2 star forwards. If you even this team is so loaded up front.
Yeah. That's what happens when you get 2 first and second overall picks 2 years ago. Let them develop for a year, and then you trade for a veteran defenseman.
Everyone made fun of LJ Mooney's management skills, and then Jack Edwards takes over, and suddenly he's boy genius.
Here comes Sabota. Red looking to mount a comeback with 15 and a half to go in the second period. Sabota sends it down. Humphreys with it. Picked up by Rosensteel. Rosensteel back. Smith. Shot blocked. Didn't know where the rebound was Blackburn. Luckily, Trevino, the defensive machine, able to clear that one out of danger. Rosensteel gets knocked down, gets in it with Amel, but Amel able to put the body in the way to stop that possession. Humphreys, though, Red is still got it in the zone. Teal has done a great job picking off their passes, but hasn't got it out of the zone for a while now. And now they finally do. Schooley dances, moves in, he will score! Brendan Schooley, he gets his second of the night.
You talk about guys stepping up. A lot of people stepping up in the right ways here for Team Teal today. Schooley with a pair, Schaff with a hat trick, Acklin with a hat trick. We said no Whitehead. You have, you just need these guys to step up. And now Red's going to call a timeout to try to just rally the troops here.
Looked like they were going to call a timeout.
I saw a signal for a timeout.
But now they're going for the face-off again.
All right.
Blackburn was heading to the bench.
Let's keep rolling then. They lose their timeout still?
I have no idea.
Where's the DPOS on this?
Smith with it. He'll send it across to Humphreys. The Humphreys get taken down, no call. Over to Smith. Smith sends it across, can't find Humphreys. Or Kozlina. Kozlina with it, gets it poked there by Schaff. Still with possession. A lot of Teal bodies around him. Pass there to Harvey, bounces off his skate. He'll move this one up to Schaff. Schaff with a pass off the referee. Hope she's okay.
Got some ankle guards on, hopefully.
Imler sends it over to Schaff, back to Imler, up to Acklin. George Acklin moving in. He will get stopped. O'Brien all the way back. Schaff with it. Schaff moving forward. Here's Trevino. Trevino stops. Passes back. Shot there by Acklin, just goes wide. Kozlina, bad pass over. Intercepted. Now here comes Teal. Rebound is still available. Won't go in. Through the crease twice and couldn't find the back of the net. Now Red with a 4-on-1. Rosensteel shot. Save made Blackburn. Rebound still available. Behind the net. Ansis. Dancing. Into the slot. Tries to find over to Harvey. Can't get there. Trevino passes this one up. Schooley. He will carry 3-on-1 for Teal. Schooley shot off the bar. Humphreys now 3-on-1 for Red. They'll take the odd man in their favor. Can't bury the pocket. Now McKenzie. He'll wait a little bit. Wait for Amel. He'll spin back. Teal is changing in the back, so McKenzie just gets rid of it. Out of reach, just past Humphreys. Pass there, makes its way straight to Tomko from Blackburn. Tomko carrying in, gets knocked off the puck. And eventually covered, as that one was not free. That one almost went in.
Yeah, pretty close, I would say, to make its way at the back of the net. And Red running out of time here. But you saw behind the plate Trevino and Anstis. Erie versus Kitchener. We're going to see a lot of each other next year. It's okay to get the rivalry brewing early on.
Malboof, and that one just gets poked by Schaff. And Schaff is away. Moving in, tried to go 5-hole, stopped away by Mistretta. Great poke there to spring that free.
I'm trying to be fancy with the camera this time around. We said we're not going to zoom in. I was like, I'm due for one.
Sabota moving in. Bad pass there, gets intercepted by Imler. 3-on-2 for Teal. Imler tries to find an opening, can't get there. Tomko now behind the net. Will try and spring free Humphreys, and he will. Humphreys moving in, spin around, misses the net was Sabota. And coming out to cover it is Blackburn.
Maybe I should stop zooming in on breakaways. So that's 0 for 2 with that now. Down to 10:30. All right, Mr. Math Wizard, how many goals they need and how much time?
Well, they need 4 goals in 10 minutes, so that's about a goal every 2.5.
I think that's right. How did we get college degrees? Someone got to check our meal.
Trevino will send that one around. O'Brien with it. Back behind to Trevino. Up. Here's Acklin. Acklin with 3 tonight. Will dance through Malbouf. Behind the net. Tries to find someone. Tried to bounce it off the goaltender and in. And unable to get there was O'Brien. And now here comes Red. Great chance goes awry. And now here comes Red. Malbouf across. Sabota misses wide. Humphreys will pick that one up in the neutral zone. Malbouf will send it in. Trevino will get it. Chip there twice, and here comes Luca Mel. Moving in. Save made. Almost put in by sliding backwards. Able to stop it, though.
What a stop there by Charlie Mistretta. He's been really good on breakaways as of late.
Here comes a Boda shot save made by Blackburn. Malbouf can't get there. Foot race by Mistretta and McKenzie, easily won by Mistretta. That one's way too far out of reach. Rosensteel, he'll move this one up. Sabota drops it. Humphreys across. One more. Humphreys, save made by Blackburn. Sabota, Humphreys shot, glove save. Rosensteel behind the net. Poked away. Schaff with it. O'Brien can't get it out. Humphreys keeps it into the line. Pass this one down. Back to Humphreys. Humphreys shot save made. Rebound goes wide, just directed wide. Back to the point. Shot there is saved away again. Rosensteel. He'll hold it at the point. Passes this one across. Smith in, shot, save made, rebounds there, cleared out by Teal. What a possession by Red, and here comes Schaff. Save made by Mistretta, and he will play it for Humphreys, not giving me any break.
No siree, you got to keep suffering through.
Humphreys pushing forward, drops this to Kozlina. Kozlina's shot goes over the net. One's going to make it out of the offensive zone, Rosensteel with it. Rosensteel makes his way around. In on a breakaway. Stopped by Blackburn. McKenzie with a great job on the back end. Schaff with it. Schaff will go behind his own net. Up to Amel. Amel up to McKenzie. McKenzie drops it. McKenzie dances. Can't get it through Mistretta. Teo McKenzie in, scores. Quinn McKenzie gets another one, and it's up to 10-5 now.
Quinn McKenzie, insane little move there. Opens up Mistretta, and a 10-5 lead here for Teal. And you look back to this team last year. They had LJ Mooney, Logan Coley, and Caden Pendo. And they were at the bottom of the GOAT 44 standings. Look where they are now. I know it's week 2 and we're doing a little early on this, but look at the turnaround from this team.
Here comes Harvey for Red. Great glove save there by Blackburn. Moving forward. Schooley carries over to Trevino. Trevino in. Shot save made. Harvey trying to get it out. Ansys sent in, directed into the corner. Tomko circles around into the slot, blocked away by 2 defenders in front. Teal has been really strong on both zones.
Yeah, that was Luke Amell on that one, the defenseman from Sacred Heart University. He was a guy that was originally not on the roster for Teal, and they were kind of short on players, so it was like, all right, we just kind of have to, fill out the roster in some way. And ended up being Luke Amell, who is a veteran of the Go League, and what a fit that he's been so far through the first 2 games.
Because Lena can't cut in. Lena sends it down. Across. Ansys dancing with it. Leaves it for Tomko. Tomko tries to find Harvey in front. Can't find his stick. Ansys can't find the slot either. Poked away there by Eimler. And here comes Acklin yet again. Dances around Tomko. Backhand off the crossbar.
George Acklin. What a game for him. Hat trick. As we said multiple times throughout this podcast, did not have a goal all season long. And has a hat trick here tonight. Helped leading his team to a 10-5 lead at the moment. You just love stories like that. When a guy just finally has that one breakout game.
It's been great for Teal, especially if you look at who they're missing. Last year, Jack Edwards 7 goals, Braxton Whitehead 6 goals, Dane Ramirez 6 goals. How many of them are in the lineup tonight? 0. And they're still putting up great numbers against a team that was in the finals last year.
Yeah, and 2 of the guys, coincidentally, that are on this Teal roster were on Red, and AJ Schaff and Tristan Trevino.
Yeah.
Which, good kicks for Teal. I mean, and Red still puts together a pretty talented roster. And they're going to be ultra aggressive here, and they're going to pull a goaltender.
They pulled it with 7 minutes, I believe, last game. As here comes AJ Schaff. Going to give this one off to McKenzie, and he will bury the empty netter. 11-5.
3 hat tricks in this game for Teal, as that's McKenzie's 3rd goal of the night. Crazy for Teal here. And I love the aggressiveness out of Red here, but maybe it was a little too late.
Yeah.
You remember, Red is the team that did score 6 goals in 2 minutes against Black.
Yeah. They've done it before. Schaff will move this one up to McKenzie. Here he comes. Dancing around. Tries to find O'Brien. Great stick there by Mistretta. Here's Sabota. Drops it for Humphreys. Humphreys to Tomko. Tomko waits, sends it over. Malbouf. This is the top line, I believe, for this Red team. Tomko down to Humphreys. Humphreys spin around. Can't find Sabota. Over to Tomko. Tomko in. Save made. Blackburn.
Interesting having Malbouf, the defenseman, parked in front, having Tomko be the one up high.
Yeah, interesting strategy.
I mean, it's that good of a shot, though. Like, you want your best shooter, I guess, in the most open space possible.
Tia winning another draw. Here comes Schooley. Schooley puts on the brakes. He's going to try and send this one in deep, but instead will force a face-off, sending it in the netting.
Looks like a young man from Schwenningen ends up with that puck.
2 minutes to go in this one. All but over for this Red team.
Hold on a minute.
Anything can happen. Amell.
Not with this team here.
Amell off the draw, tries to send it in front. Blocked there by Schooley. Acklin with it for Teal. Loses that puck. Humphreys will move it forward to Tomko. Tomko moving in over. Sabota scores. Maybe I did speak too soon, but the time has not stopped yet.
What does it have to get down to? If I remember correctly, is it 4?
I don't know.
There's 1.
Here comes Luke Amell. Shot there, save made by Mistretta, and he will have to cover And that's more time that's going to be killed off this clock.
Yeah, you got to
for
play
Red.
hurry-up offense right now. This is a 2-minute drill, and you need 5 points. And that's including face-offs.
Clearing there by Rosensteel. Make its way to Humphreys. Humphreys moving in. Save made. Rebound is still there. Save made. Malbouf's shot is saved away. We're under a minute. Amel will come out with it. Try and flip it out. Goes off Tomko instead, though. Makes its way to Humphreys in the slot. Rolls off his stick. He'll get it back. Over to FedEx logo. Loses it. Schooley. Kept in, though, by Rosensteel. Rosensteel across. Save made. Goes wide. Tomko. His pass is blocked. Schooley getting bodied off the puck. Malbouf with it. Down to Tomko. 20 seconds to go. Up to Humphreys. He'll wait. Put on the brakes. Sent across in front. Taken down on the chance. Cleared down the ice. Ackland will carry it with 5 seconds. And not go for it. Mistretta with some words. I don't know if it was joking words or what.
Probably joking.
I assume so. But as we look down to our right, Ethan Blackburn getting mobbed by his team. If you thought, as an ACHA goalie coming in, you're facing 2 NHL prospects, you only give up 1 goal to them?
At minimum 2. There's possibly more
Yes.
on this team.
There's 2 already NHL prospects, though.
Yes. It's insane to me.
And he plays club hockey. He pays to play hockey.
At Duquesne University, well, now he's going to Colorado State, where he's from. But the fact that, you put Blackburn last year, you remember him being a sub, and he had like 13 goals against, everyone's like, oh, he plays in the Ocho, we wonder why. And then now the last 2 games, he is 2-0 with a 5.5 goals against. Now, you see 5.5 in the Ocho, this guy sucks. You put 5.5 in the GOAT League, you're in the Hall of Fame, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Blackburn was the MVP of this game for Teal for sure, especially in this second period. He was getting peppered by that Red offense that was trying nonstop to come back into this game.
It is, and then it's really saying something too if you are the first star at the game when 3 players on your team had hat tricks and you leapfrog them for first star of the game.
That's just what happens in the GOAT League. Is if you pull off sub 7 goals as a goalie, you might get first star.
Easily. I mean, you could even have 14 goals against like freaking Landon Butterbaugh and still be a first star of that game in my eyes here. Some Blackburn, some screen time. He hasn't had enough today.
Yeah.
There we go.
And
He'll appreciate that.
An incredible game by Teal. And they're proving to be dangerous, especially since they're missing their 3 best players from last year that came back.
It is. And the guy that we should have on screen right now who's getting interviewed, I didn't know we'd do this.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, it's Quinn McKenzie down there as debatably another possible first star of the game. What a game for him, honestly. He's one of the returners and put on a show here. It's good to see those kind of guys perform.
Second overall pick last year, proving why. As that will do it for today's slate of games. First game of the night, White handily takes out Green 10-2. Second game of the night, Purple handily takes out Black 9-3. And in this one, I don't want to say handily, but it was pretty lopsided that Teal takes down Red 11-6. It was definitely the closest of the 3 games.
It was. It was definitely, I think, the most competitive of the 3.
Despite the score being pretty far apart, I feel like any team could have won that.
Yeah.
Until about maybe the last 6 minutes.
Get these 2 in the playoffs.
I'd love to see this in a playoff game.
Honestly, like we were talking about this earlier. The second and third games we saw today was your playoff prediction coming into today. Is that still?
I don't know about the seeding, but I still think that those 4 are your playoff teams. White and Black are my 2 on the cusp.
Yeah. There's a lot of time. This is only week 2. There's 4 regular season weeks left.
Teams can dramatically change. Big trades, big turnaround seasons. Anything can happen.
It's the fun of it.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty good for the only 2 of us here today.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry if the quality was kind of crappy. I mean, one of us is half sick and we're also just talking while... Oh, okay, don't back away. Now you're backing away after 3 hours being next to me. Sure, that's going to be fine, buddy. Yeah, we're doing computer and camera at the same time while talking. I think we did pretty good.
Proves we can do it.
We're going to have a full crew next time, I promise.
Oh, I hope so.
You want me to wrap it up?
Go ahead.
All right. Hey, we got a bye week.
There
We
go.
all deserve a nice week off, shall we? Fourth
Yeah,
of July
all-
week.
the other 3 people who work with us definitely deserve a bye week.
Yeah, they've combined shown up to one game. But yeah, we get a week off. They get a week off. Well, some of them. Some have to go to development camp. Yeah, the highly elite guys get to go to development camp. But yeah, we'll get a week off. We'll be back in 2 weeks with week number 3 of Goat 44 action. Thanks for sticking with us through it all tonight.